I am so happy today to have Smurf Luchiano here, aka Real DB Cooper,
Yes,
aka Big Smurf.
Big
Right?
Smurf.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming.
Right on, man. Appreciate it.
I'm really excited to talk to you today. And
Hey, I'm excited to be here, man. And the great Northwest fresh.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
What better than that?
Yeah. I'm kind of like starstruck because like I was telling you a second ago, I just found you like in my feed and I saw the Nina Ross video and I was like, it's just like the perfect kind of hip hop beat that I like. And I was gonna shout out Braille.
Oh, shout out
He's
Braille.
yeah.
Braille on the
I
beat,
was trying
man.
to get him on here too eventually. I don't know if he
Well,
wants to,
well,
but
I will definitely put out the word, and I'm
okay.
sure he'll watch this interview and see it. And I'm pretty sure Braille would love to come on here.
Yeah, and I just love those type of beats and like I'll put a link to the video in here. Everyone should check it out and also subscribe to
Okay.
your YouTube and all
Yeah.
your stuff. Um but yeah, I was gonna let's start off with, like, tell me about making some of your latest tracks and like that video and stuff
Um,
and
like we did the Nina Ross. Uh, my thought when I was doing it was that we would go back and we would talk about Albina. Um, just talking about where I came from, how I grew up. You know, like I said in interviews before, I played baseball at Peninsula Park. It's off Albina. I used to live in the Albina community. In my song, I say I'm from Kirby, out the district of Albina.
Mhm.
Um, Albina is known as the heart of the black community. Mississippi area, like we know about the I-5 freeway getting built in that area years and years ago.
Mhm.
My grandfather was one of the people who originally at Vanport flooded out.
Okay, yeah.
My dad grew up in the Mississippi Alberta area. I grew up over there playing baseball, and just as a youth going to PCC, um, I felt it would be fitting and the timing after gentrification and all the stuff to come back and do Nina Ross and do it and shoot the video on Albina. A lot of
Yeah.
history over there.
And it's a great video too. Yeah, like I
Thank you.
said, I'll plug it in the video below this and all that stuff.
My guy Tizzo, Black Lagoon, he shot
Okay.
the video.
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Award-winning producer. He was one of the winners of our Flavin Peace Awards at Summer Jam this year.
Awesome. Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, and it looks fantastic. Like as somebody who makes videos, I was really impressed. It's a dope video, and
Well, we know we had to have some quality production. I mean,
yeah,
it goes along with being from Portland.
yeah, yeah.
That's one of the things we do out of Portland, the city of Roses. We put out quality music,
Hmm.
quality production, and if you come here, you're gonna have a great time.
And this is part of a new. Is this part of a new album you got coming out?
Yes, a
Yeah,
new album. It's the real Smurf Luchiano, the real, aka the real DB Cooper, Albino Risk album.
and that's coming out like couple.
I'm releasing next month, November.
Oh, next month. Awesome. Yeah,
So,
that's like right around my birthday. So
well, perfect birthday gift.
yeah. Um, yeah, that's really cool. And where's like the main place people find all this stuff?
Apple Music, CD Baby, any of the upper digital download sites.
Nice.
You can find it anywhere. Just Google Smurf Luchiano, the real DB Cooper. It'll pop up, and you'll find something that you like.
Awesome. Yeah, go check it out there. I was gonna ask you about the DB Cooper thing because I love the like graphic you have with you jumping out the plane and all that shit and but how did you? Because I've known about that story for a long time. I used to work in the news here for years, and I just heard that like beat into my head about DB Cooper
Right.
and but how did you like get that? I just love the
So,
name and
so,
yeah.
so how I correlated was I'm a true Oregonian. I grew up here. I moved away some time ago, but Oregon always been in my heart. Oregon is what raised me. Oregon is where I learned a lot of things. I graduated from Lincoln High School, so my crossover was different. Just being in Northeast Portland and going to Lincoln High School, I had different abilities that I could use. So the real DB Cooper came about. I got the real DB Cooper, and I also got the real Rajneesh.
Okay,
So,
that's an awesome name too. Because yeah, people know about Wild Wild Country and all that shit. Yeah, it's
right.
like
So the real DB Cooper, I was leaving, and I was at the time I was leaving Oregon. I was on the run, and I was at PDX Airport, and I'm like, damn. I wonder is this what DB Cooper felt like
mm,
when he was leaving this same airport as he pulled in. Had to pull in the same way. He had to go through the terminals. He had to get on the plane. He had
mm,
to sit on the runway at PDX. And because I was feeling like I was in the same positions at the time,
yeah,
I was like, okay, I'm the real DB
I
Cooper.
like it. Yeah.
Okay, then I came back here. Later on, I got arrested, ended up going to jail for a little while. Then I got acquitted on the
Hmm.
conspiracy charge.
Hmm.
And when I got acquitted on the conspiracy charge, I thought maybe the real DB Cooper was not guilty. Maybe he didn't commit
Hmm.
a crime. Maybe this is something they thought he did, but they might have had the wrong guy.
There's way more to it, maybe.
So maybe
Yeah.
it's more to the story
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
And that's how I came up with the real DB Cooper.
I love
After
it.
my experience of going through the trial and getting acquitted, found not guilty, and I was facing a life sentence.
Yeah, and I want to talk a lot about that stuff too. But that's just yeah, that's a cool story about how you got the name. Because yeah, I wanted to get into some of that stuff. Of, like I watched this documentary. It's called Killingsworth, right?
Killingsworth documentary.
Yeah.
You can watch it on Vimeo. There's links to it on
Hmm.
Vimeo.
Yeah, the whole thing's online and it's just fantastic. And I was telling you a second ago, like I didn't even know make the connection, but this guy I know, Tom Olson, and you said you went to high school with him
Tom
and stuff.
Molson, great guy. Me and Tom, like I say, our story goes back because we went to Lincoln High School together. We
Hmm.
were actually played on the same basketball team. And if you go look at the Lincoln 1990, Lincoln Cardinals 1990 school yearbook, I'm at the top, and Tom Olson is right underneath me. Second picture right underneath me
That's
directly.
so wild. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah, because I don't know him that well, but I was just like, oh, Anchor Pictures. I sort of know this guy, and then it's a fantastic documentary. And I was realizing after I was watching it now, it's almost like on the anniversary of Little Smurf's
Yes,
death right now, right?
yes, it
Yeah,
was right
as
there,
we're recording this, I guess.
right,
Yeah,
right at the anniversary almost.
yeah.
Well, my birthday is October 8th. He died March 8th.
Okay.
So we right here similar.
Oh, I'm
So,
thinking of your
but
birthday is what I'm
but
thinking.
well, my
Yeah.
birthday is when he got killed
Okay, I
on
see.
my
I see. I
birthday.
see. Yeah.
Kind of a spooky little.
Yeah, that's what it's
And I
just.
got shot on his birthday
Yeah,
in
the whole birthday
1989.
thing is wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's in the stars.
Yeah,
It's,
that's what
it's
I like when I was thinking about this date today. I was like, yeah, because I talk about sometimes on here. I'm kind of a fate person,
right.
and I'm just like, that is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
yeah. But fate, it'll take you a lot of places too.
yeah,
Got to go with the gut.
yeah, and like I was just gonna set it up like people absolutely check out the documentary, but it just like just yeah, yeah. Tell people what that was like in the 1990s Portland. Would you say it's accurate that that's like the height of gang activity in
Um,
Portland, or
I would say for the crack epidemic,
yeah, yeah,
for the people that was on crack and the drugs versus today's drugs, crack is not a comparison to fentanyl.
okay, yeah.
There's not a
I was
comparison.
gonna ask you about that. Yeah, the
Uh,
difference of because obviously now,
Crack wasn't people. I seen people die, and I seen like gang violence go up, but a lot of that stuff was for financial rewards.
hmm
Now it's just if you just take the drug, you just drop dead.
yeah,
So
that's why I was
there
asking people.
isn't
It's such a
even a
different,
customer you can
and
keep.
people are
Or
just passed out all the time.
yeah, I mean, so I would say height of gang. Yes, it was the '90s because it was the crack era. You had the real Rick Ross.
hmm
You had the FBI giving him drugs.
Yeah.
He was sending them all over the country. It was the real Rick Ross is from L.A.
Okay.
He lived off in the Hoover neighborhood.
Yeah.
But if you watch his documentary, he talked about how CIA brought him drugs, gave him crates full of AK-47s to distribute to young gang members to take across America.
hmm
Of course, this
So
it's going to be heightened killings,
yeah,
gang banging. They got a source of drugs coming straight from the government to the streets. You know,
yeah, yeah. It's all
now,
the height of the drug war,
yeah,
kind of.
out of
Yeah,
the drug war.
yeah.
Now that they stopped all that, there is no the war on drugs and all that kind of stuff. We see things a little bit different. The killings, I don't see as much murder
hmm
happening.
hmm
I see a lot of people on drugs like fentanyl stuff of that nature, but cocaine. Um, Oregon is known for cocaine. It's known for cocaine snorters because it's a uppity type of state.
Hmm.
Not for the meth smokers or for crack smokers, but snorting cocaine because that was cool in the '70s.
Yeah.
Oregon is still kind of laid back, cool kind of party town,
hmm
but the fentanyl thing just makes it to where your kid can't even experiment with
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And I got kids in college,
Yeah, and it's
so it's
scary.
scary
Yeah.
for me as a
Yeah.
parent, saying, "Well, I hope that they don't try it or a friend try to slip it on them." Before a little bit of acid, or maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
acid was dangerous, but people did acid. And I seen a lot of people come back. I didn't see too much happen. Now it's just like you can't even experiment.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time on here because in my 20s in Portland here, I did all that. I did cocaine, ecstasy, all that
Right,
stuff, and now it's just like ruined. Like, I mean, obviously it's bad to do drugs, I guess, in general, but like, there's a risk of death,
right.
with all that shit, and it's crazy. But yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, the transition from like crack to fentanyl now, and It's just wild to me because it's also so cheap. It's
Yeah,
like a
the
dollar.
cheapness of it is
Yeah.
like, how could you even call yourself a drug dealer if you're so fentanyl?
Right. Yeah. There's
There's no
not
money
money.
in it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
And that's
uh,
why I always hear it's like this big cartel thing with like other countries and stuff. And I don't know
well,
exactly what's going on, but
I believe that. I believe that part. But even them, they don't want to lose all their customers.
yeah, yeah.
Might have was a good idea at first because maybe they could have cut it a little bit, got a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But now it's like, shit, everybody's dying.
Hmm.
We better slow that down. So my prediction is that there will be a slowdown in it. It
Eventually,
just so
yeah.
happens that Oregon is at the top of the list at the point because we had the non-drug law,
Right.
um,
110, yeah.
and it flooded.
Yeah.
It did flood our community with drugs. Um, but all we got to do, we have to still kind of have resources for those people, even though they own them. We got to make sure we got housing. We got to make sure that they got programs to
Hmm.
make sure that they can get off of it.
Yeah.
And that will trickle all the way down to the kids because a kid with no safe place or without some stability is going to be one of those kids that we're going to have to worry about back in the streets again
Yeah.
and back in our system.
That's one thing when I was watching it, I just really felt that with Lil Smurf of just like, and you know better than anybody, I'm sure,
Right.
but you didn't really have parents, or any community. Like you were kind of his community, and
Right. Well,
yeah,
he was my neighbor, and so he looked up to me.
yeah,
Um, I had a lot of stuff at that time going on at from 17 to my early 20s, early 30s. But I just feel like a big brother. If you have a big brother there,
yeah,
you got somebody that can listen.
yeah,
You gotta, even if you got a program that you can go to that's stable,
mm-hmm,
you're gonna have a mentor there or a counselor there, somebody who will recognize what you may be going through. Um, I think like Little Smurf, he had like Lonnie Nettles. She was one of the counselors who was
mm-hmm,
also in the documentary.
mm-hmm,
She was somebody who really took an interest in him. But if you get an overload of cases, it's hard to watch.
yeah,
So we had to make sure that we have enough mentors,
yeah, enough time with,
safe places for the kids to go to,
mm-hmm,
so that each kid can have a special place that they can call home, even if it's not their home. They can call it home, so
mm-hmm,
like a church almost
yeah,
or youth facility. So that's one of the things that I've been getting involved in. Albina Youth LLC Youth Coordinators is one of the things I've been working with, and that's basically just a coordination of um, getting youth together, giving them some quality building as far as making sure they got confidence.
mm-hmm,
Every kid needs confidence, and making sure that they got a place that they can call home, which is one of the facilities. I've been working with Pastor Manyweather, and he has a homeless shelter that'll
mm,
be opening up on 82nd, and it's a nice facility. It's going to be a nice facility. They're building it right now,
yeah,
and he gave me the opportunity to come over there and work with the youth and be one of the youth
that's great,
coordinators
yeah,
over there. So I really appreciate that too.
yeah,
And those are the kind of places we need more of to make sure that even the kid is lost, they have no one to talk to. They can at least go knock on the door and they're not gonna get turned away.
right, yeah, yeah. It just seems so important, and I don't know, it's. Yeah, I'm not trying to compare my own thing, but I grew up a single parent, and I know that's hard enough. But yeah, it's just not having community or any sort of mentorship and all
Yeah,
that stuff is so important. It's cool. It's great you're doing that.
I don't appreciate it.
But yeah, it's like I'm just curious, like what, yeah, your take on Portland today too, compared to back then, and like what's changed in your mind, what needs to change, and
Man,
I mean, you just mentioned some things.
like I drive through Northeast Portland and I love the look of it, right? It hurts me that I see that a lot of things that I took as monuments are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I love the look of it. And I love the people mingling and having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't like the traffic now.
Yeah.
The traffic is
Yeah.
just outrageous.
It is bad. Yeah.
Like on a Sunday, 2 p.m., you still got traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Friday, you can just forget it. All day Friday, nobody's going to work on Friday. Everybody,
Yeah.
the freeway's packed.
It is weird how it's like every day is kind of like because I was driving to work even during COVID for a while because I make videos and I have to be there in person a lot.
Right,
But it would be like Monday. It's just weird how like Monday will be fine or something, and then Tuesdays is crazy, and then Wednesday's fine.
right. And
It's
it's
just there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just
no.
weird. Yeah.
And then other than that, as far as the gangs, I don't see too much of those out in the open
Yeah.
like it used to.
Yeah.
Um, I don't see any police ever.
Yeah.
And I see less problems without the police. which I hate to say.
Yeah.
I see less problems without the police. I see less traffic stops. I see less
Mhm.
people's cars getting towed, less money being wasted.
Mhm.
Um, but I do see when there's a crimes that are happening, other than car break-ins. I see a lot of car break-ins with no
Yeah.
response, but actual real crimes that are going on, murders, rape, they are attending to those things. And so, I like for the police to be in there,
Mhm.
but I like for the police to be um, alert, aware, and enough for them to take care of their job versus too much overtime. I was also watching the Terrence Hayes interview
Mhm. Mhm.
on your show, and I agreed with a lot that he said. So shout out to him.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was gonna ask you, yeah, your perspective on policing today versus back then too, because yeah, it's just so interesting. You and him both have, like, he spent I think 18 years in prison or something
Know what
like
he
that,
did?
and it's just wild for him to have that position now. But yeah, you kind of just said it, but that's kind of your feelings to
Yeah,
policing today. Yeah.
yeah. But like I say, with the people we have out on the streets, as far as the community workers,
Hmm.
I think the community workers have been doing a great job as far as directing people coming back into the community,
Hmm.
uh, come back into the community, as well as giving them the housing is starting to look a little bit better as far as the homelessness.
Yeah.
Because we got to take care of our people. We got to take care of our veterans, our mentally ill.
Yeah.
So mental health is a big thing out there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Because like going back to the gang issue, a lot of what I seen now that I look back was you had people with mental illnesses
Hmm.
who got on drugs, and then once they got on drugs and they went home and had domestic violence, then that went down as a gang related incident.
Hmm.
When really it was just him and his woman, like anybody else. They had a situation,
Yeah.
but it started with mental health because somebody didn't take the medicine. So we definitely got to make sure that we got our medical in line
Hmm.
as well as our homelessness. And then we do that, we take that and we get our veterans a place. We got a good start, you
Yeah.
know. Oregon, but Oregon has the opportunity to do all those things though,
Yeah. This
because we
might.
do care about our people.
Yeah. No, I think you're totally right about that. And right now I feel like we're getting there's a lot of focus on the shelter part of homelessness, but I think you're totally right. You got to get the mental health side of it as well,
Yeah,
and the addiction side, all that stuff. It's
yeah.
just it's super important. Um, this might seem like a funny question too, but I was thinking before you came coming over here, would you ever think about running for office of any
Well,
kind?
that's where my going to Lincoln comes in at.
Yeah,
Tiffany went to Lincoln also.
Tiffany Penson.
Yeah, she went to Lincoln. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
I might have been like a freshman when she was a senior or something,
okay, yeah,
but I remember her being at Lincoln. That's when all the Trailblazers used to come to the Lincoln. Jerome Kersey and Terry Porter.
okay, yeah,
They
yeah,
hung out at Lincoln around that time. Um, well, yeah, politics only because I care about the people.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm a people's person. That's why I consider myself to be a people's champ.
Yeah, it's funny because I was going when I first followed you on Instagram. I was watching a bunch of your videos, and it's just I just like to sit there and listen to you talk. And I think that's a good quality if you do run for office. Like, you just are a great natural speaker, I think, and like just your flow of consciousness is really, I don't know. I could sit
Thank
there
you.
and listen to you talk about issues, and it's just
Well, see,
really,
I appreciate it because, like I say, that comes with years and years of being in courtrooms and
yeah,
years and years of drama.
yeah. You've
You
had a
know,
lot of experience in life.
I've had some experiences that the pressure um, made perfect, but the perfect also made the diamond. Cause I could have it could have broke me,
Yeah,
and I was always told by a good friend who also received an award this year named Robert Richardson, elder in the community. Um, he always told me whatever don't break me, use it to tell my story, so somebody else can learn.
mm,
And right now, that's pretty much what I'm doing is using the things I've been through and the stories that I've learned, passed on like folk stories and telling them about the Albina district,
yeah,
about, how I went to court, Fifth Amendment rights, made a song called No Deal, um, ended up getting charged with a conspiracy, but I was already on a RICO charge already. And then, it was I said on my part, it was a dumb fight for me to go against the DA
mm,
because he had nothing to lose. I had everything to lose. But in turn, um, I think me being out of that situation going on 28 years now for the RICO charge
mm-hmm.
and not going back to prison said a lot about
Yeah, yeah,
my character as well.
yeah.
So um, just got to make good decisions, man, in life, and try to stay ahead of the curve as far as putting yourself in bad situations by making short term decisions without thinking.
Yeah.
30 years later, I'm just doing my solo album.
Yeah.
Only because 30 years ago I said, fuck the DA, fuck the state of Oregon, fuck.
Mm,
And the charge I fought was so heavy, it made me not even want to do music anymore.
really?
So, because I said that, they put me on this RICO indictment. Well, on the conspiracy indictment. I was already on the RICO, but they put me on the conspiracy indictment. That's where I fought the life sentence at. Even though I got acquitted, I sat in jail for 2 years
Mm-hmm.
before I went to trial. And then when I got out, I was just like, I put out some artists, but I don't want to say anything. Then 30 years later, I'm like, you know what? I still got it in me. I still got drive, some things that I wanted to get accomplished, and music and the album was one of them. So
Yeah.
30 years later, I'm dropping the real DB Cooper album.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
Persistency.
Because yeah, I was gonna ask you too about the first was the first album Gangstas on the Move, was that what it was called?
Gangsters
Yeah.
on the Move is the first album we did. Got 'em for short.
Yeah.
And on there, we got the song called No Deal, where we say, basically, you don't have to take a deal. If they take you to jail and they got you in jail, you don't have to take a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You got a right to a fast and speedy trial. You got a right to an attorney. You know, on that song was where I said also, what the fuck to you, the DA and the state of Oregon, because they had indicted me on a RICO charge, and I felt like I should not have been charged with a RICO. So that was my only expression that I felt to get to the people. And that's why we put that song out on that album. Gangsters on the Move. The song is No Deal, produced by Bosco.
Yeah, and tell people about, because I just think that acquittal is so interesting, and I don't know. Tell people about that. Like,
So, so they arrested me on a conspiracy for the drug traffic, 2,000 kilos of cocaine.
wow.
A couple of my co-defendants got found guilty in trial. A lot of them pleaded out. I think I had 50 co-defendants on that charge, from all the way from Mexico to San Antonio to Fresno, California.
Wow.
Now out of the 50 people, I may have seen 7 people out of
Yeah.
the 50, maybe.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
The other 33, I
Right.
never seen. So
Right.
I'd be going to court and be packed in the elevator going to court and be like, damn, who was this guy? And we'd all be going to the same courtroom.
Yeah.
Some of them spoke English, some of them didn't speak
And
English.
they were they saying, I was trying to remember on the documentary, was that the first RICO in Oregon?
That we were on the first RICO for the Crips. They got the Bloods
Okay.
first
I see.
on the RICO. But I'm talking on the conspiracy cases when they had the 50 co-defendants.
Okay.
And it stemmed out of Fresno, California. That's where they said the drugs was coming from, to Portland. They had a couple low cars get stopped, 15 kilos in the cars. They had it labeled as the Oregon's Black Mafia,
Hmm.
was what they were calling it. They had one guy on the case who had a murder from Kern County, Bakersfield, California, came to Oregon, and basically just got as much information. He was on the run for murder.
Hmm.
Came here, got as much information as he could while he was in Oregon, meeting different people.
Mm-hmm.
When he went home, he'd jot down everybody's name. So when he did get caught for the murder, he handed over this ledger that he had,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "This is Oregon's Black Mafia." Whether he heard the names or he met the people or whatever, his story was good enough for them to go read through it, go
Mm-hmm.
pick people up as they investigated. And one of the places he was at, he just happened to be at the scene when Little Smurf got murdered
Wow.
at the Viewpoint parking lot, and he witnessed the murder. And he told on that the guy who killed Little Smurf got me on the conspiracy.
Mm.
And so yeah, I knew that they all sold drugs. There was I think I had one piece of evidence, which was I sent somebody on the conspiracy case $300 one time to Fresno, and I had bought a car from the car lot, and the car had a stash spot, and I got stopped in Vancouver, Washington.
Mm.
Vancouver said, because there were drugs in the car and a gun, Vancouver said it was a legal search and seizure. In 2 days of being in motions hearing. First day, the officer got on stand, he lied. Third day of the motions hearing, he came back and said, Your Honor, I apologize for lying to the court. Mr. Norman is not the guy I was chasing, and I feel bad. And the judge said right then, I have to dismiss this case. Sorry that the officer lied. Dismissal.
Wow.
Case thrown out. The feds picked it up and said you were the driver in the vehicle. Stop is good in Oregon. Even though it happened in Washington,
Hmm.
stop is good in Oregon. We putting you on a conspiracy case with the guy who you sent the $300 to in Fresno. That put me on a conspiracy,
I
facing
see.
a life
Yeah.
sentence.
And that's the federal thing. Yeah.
That federal.
And so
So
you're saying you sat in jail for 2 years because of
I
that?
sat in jail for 2 years for that because I was already out on bail on RICO
Hmm.
when they picked me up on the conspiracy to sell 2,000 kilos of cocaine. So once they arrested me, they said, "Oh, flight risk." So that set me down,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I stayed. I was at Sheridan. I was at the Justice Center. I was at Inverness. They moved me out to John Day for like 5 months.
Wow. You're moving all around. Yeah.
John Day, it was like a 12-man jail. There was nothing in John Day.
Really?
I mean, when they said they would starve
That's
you
like
out,
Eastern Oregon, is that what
Eastern
Yeah.
Oregon,
Yeah.
when they said they starve you out,
Yeah.
the feds is nothing. There's nothing to play with. I wouldn't recommend anybody go against what I went through, and that was all behind music.
Hmm.
But I'm glad that now I've been able to do the right things, handle my business. I had a wife; she passed away 11 years
Oh,
ago,
I'm sorry.
so I
Yeah.
was a single
Yeah.
father for 11 years.
Wow.
Um, lived in Vegas. My son, he's doing well. I had a daughter; she been on the Bachelor. She was on the Bachelor. My oldest daughter was on the show, The Bachelor.
Really?
She's labeled as one of the top 10 influencers right now to
Oh,
follow
wow.
in
Wow.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Shout out to her. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Kiera Norman. Shout out to her. I got a son here, and I got one grandbaby. So I feel accomplished, man, and everything is just falling in place. I never dreamed of even coming back to Oregon.
Yeah.
Never.
Because how long you were in Vegas for?
I was there off and on for about 20 years
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a long time. Yeah.
because as soon as I got out of jail from the federal case, I did 2 years probation, and the day I got off probation, I left and went back to Nevada,
Yeah.
and so.
Well, I can understand why you wouldn't want to come back for, yeah.
But it's beautiful here. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
got all the seasons. You got the mountains. You got rivers,
Hmm.
green grass. You know, um, uh, canoes,
Yeah.
Subarus and canoes.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a good way. Yeah.
Voodoo donuts. I
Yeah.
mean, who don't
Yeah.
want to be in
Yeah.
Oregon?
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say the Blazers. They're not doing great right now, but
Right.
I wish we had an NFL team, but I don't think that'll.
Well,
I don't know.
that's why I made it bigger. It's like I say, I'm a Portlander. I'm an Oregonian,
Hmm.
but I'm a Northwesterner. I'm Northwest
Yeah.
fresh
Yeah.
because I'm Seattle.
Hmm.
I'm the Bay Area. So in between there on I-5, the King I-5,
Yeah.
I'm doing all of them. I'm a 49er fan. I'm a Seattle fan.
Yeah.
I'm a
Totally.
Blazer fan.
Totally. Yeah. 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 Shout out to the Northwest, of course, where we are. I've been asking people about the Live Nation thing.
Uh-huh. I know.
Do you have a take on that? Like,
Well, my thing with Live Nation is if as an independent promoter, I don't even consider myself an independent promoter at this time. It's one of the jobs that I've done in the past.
mhm.
I consider myself right now just solely an artist.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm pushing Smurf Luchiano, aka the real DB Cooper. But as a promoter, if Live Nation is guaranteeing local promoters a piece of the action,
Hmm.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If they're not,
If it's all,
they're gonna squeeze them out, and
yeah.
you can't get a local artist on the bill, we don't need them.
I think that's a great point. Yeah, because I've asked a couple people, and that's what kind of what they're saying is like if it has this like ecosystem down there where it's not just big artists, but
Right.
it's a bunch of people. Anybody could kind of have an opportunity. That would be cool. But yeah, it's interesting. I know, like most people just seem to agree that they're a terrible company. Like they're just huge and gigantic. But I do also think where they're trying to put it, that could be a cool spot for
Yeah, I
that.
like the spot though.
Yeah,
I like it right there on the river. I
yeah.
mean, it's a nice location right there.
And it's just like a parking lot right now, I think,
Right.
basically, or something.
But it floods a lot over there too.
That's true.
You
It's
know,
right
so
by the water.
all right.
Yeah. Is it harder? Like, what are your thoughts on like making music today versus? Because I know like when you put Gangstas on the movie, that was probably a CD, all that stuff,
When I started with Gangsters movie was CD and a tape.
tape. Yeah.
And the first video we did, we paid 15,000 for the
Are
video.
you kidding me? Wow.
We shot the
Because
video
it was expensive back then. Yeah.
heavy on the grind. We did it at
Was it on film?
Diddler's Beach. We did it on 15 millimeter film.
Wow.
Had to pay for permits. Do a beach
All that
beach
stuff.
blast. I think that might have been the last beach blast that we actually had in
Yeah.
Oregon. And we had a lot of fun filming it. and it still looks good to this day. You can tell the difference between film and digital.
Totally, totally.
But
Holds up, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it did. We did it. We had a lot of fun and did a great job. It was very expensive, but now because of the internet, I mean, everything is so cheap now.
Yeah.
It's whereas before, like, might cost us 70,000 to make an album. Now it's like you can make an album in within the hundreds.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Isn't that wild? It's
big
just yeah,
change.
yeah.
But I think it gave a lot of people more opportunities.
Yeah, it's easier to put anything out,
You can
right?
put it out.
Yeah.
But it always come to marketing. If you can't market, you're not gonna sell.
Yeah.
Marketing is number one. You got to be able to market. You know, you have to put some time into it. Whether you got to do it yourself and edit it yourself, or you pay somebody, and then you got to have something that's catchy. You
Yeah.
know, because good music will sell if the people know it's out there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just it's yeah, I think it basically is like you were saying. It's just weird because it is so easier to put stuff out, but there's also like this highly competitive production value. And I
Right.
think you guys have there. Whatever
Thank you.
Black Lagoon, I don't know who's making those
Black
videos
Lagoon he's
and
doing a
you
great
and all
job
that
over
stuff.
there. Braille on the beat, he doing
Yeah.
a great job. My guy DJ Chill, shout out to him because he does a lot of mixing from me. He was in an accident, car accident, but he was one of the pioneers of Portland hip hop. Him and DJ Wicked, Five Fingers of
Oh yeah,
Funk.
DJ Wicked. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so shout out to them, both of them. You know, I give a lot of credit to them on helping me with my projects as well.
yeah, yeah. And it's I don't know. What's your take on let's say like the music scene here? I guess in general, including hip hop, obviously. But
Uh,
is hip hop also is that bigger, smaller than it used to be? I know Amine kind of came through and
right.
had a moment, but
Uh, I mean, he still has a
I
moment. He's
mean
still
he's
the guy.
huge. Yeah,
He got a tennis shoe deal. So
yeah.
New Balance, I think it is. You got Bosco. You got a guy named Nonstop. Nonstop did a lot of the Cardi B and the Migos stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, he's probably one of the bigger ones out of here right now. Um, So Luna. There's a few guys. Damon Lillard, Mike Capes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, my guy Real Key. My son also raps. Doesn't go by the name of Quay Savvy.
Oh,
So
okay.
it
Shout
feels
out to
good to
him.
be
Yeah.
like LeBron and Bronny. You know, we don't one of the only ones doing that.
Yeah.
And but my thing is I waited 30 years and he's kept it going. So shout out to him, shout out Quay Savvy. But I think the hip hop scene here is for me I call my friends the super friends. And part of the reason I call them the super friends is because we come from under Mount St. Helens, you know.
Hmm.
It was radioactive. I was here when the mountain blew up. I was here when the ash
Hell
rained
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So this is part of my Northwest story though, you know, and I might be crazy in the head, but I go, um, all my friends are the super friends. Everybody got something special they can do.
I like that.
So
Yeah.
we over talented here.
Yeah.
We beautiful people here.
Yeah.
This is the Northwest though. So
Yeah. Well, the
um,
way you're talking about it, it sounds like yeah, it's growing and it's healthy and it's
yeah,
yeah.
it's a good environment and a lot of sparring practice that people that you can spar with, and you can find somebody that is making music in your genre, whether you're doing rock
Yeah.
or hip hop, grunge, metal.
It's one of the reasons I love hip hop because I feel like a lot of those other genres aren't really doing anything.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of it. But like I feel like when I moved here like almost 20 years ago from Southern Oregon, but like I feel like all that indie rock kind of
Hmm.
stuff is like not
It
happening as much as it used to
I don't.
be.
Just doesn't seem like it is.
And I
I
love
mean,
hip hop because it's inventive and it's always trying new things and
yeah, it definitely is. I enjoy
yeah,
mixing the
mixing them
two
up. Yeah.
because like I say, out of Northwest, we speak very proper. So I get flack for speaking proper. I go places, oh man, you talk like you white. No, I talk like I have an education,
Yeah.
so I can pronounce my words. So
Yeah.
you know, people take it different ways, but just depend on where you're at
Yeah.
is whether you
Totally.
have
Yeah.
the accent.
Yeah.
Like I've been down south Atlanta, you're like, oh, he talks different. Well, you guys ain't been nowhere. If you've been somewhere, you're gonna see. You know, we all
Yeah.
speak a
It's
little
all
bit, depending on your
different.
region.
Yeah.
So I'm embracing my region. I know I got the Northwest. I'm Oregon. I'm top of the bay. I'm top of the map.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't get any closer to Canada than the
That's
Northwest.
true. Yeah.
So we got our own piece of the map, and we're gonna hold it down, and we're gonna represent it.
Yeah. Is it? I think it's interesting to see a lot of the like you're saying the crossover. Right now, it seems like there's a lot of crossover with like country and hip hop.
Yeah, there
It's been
is.
going on for 5 years or so, 10
Right.
years or so, and that's interesting. But
But if you think about it, they talk about a lot of the same stuff:
yeah,
shooting, losing their woman,
yeah,
getting drunk.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. But yeah, I love to see it because I think I don't know any whatever genre is doing the inventive stuff. That's what I like to
Yeah,
kind of tune into. But
I enjoy the energy of the crowds.
yeah, I saw in one of your videos you mentioned you played like a huge show in Montana. Was
Yeah,
that
we
you?
we
Yeah.
did we did Rap in the Rivers in Montana, and that was an experience because they had so much land,
Yeah.
and then
They just have a
they
huge.
had tents. You
Yeah.
could sleep over. You sleep overnight. It was 2 day event, and I want to give a shout out to them too. Rap in the Rivers. Hey, next year we will be there again. And it was an incredible show, and they put on a great event over there.
I bet that'd be wild. Yeah, I've never been to Montana, but
Had about
I've
five
always
thousand
wanted to
people.
check it out. But yeah, that's a big show.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was big and outdoors.
Yeah.
So I liked it. You
There's
know,
like horses going by and stuff,
I
and
seen everything over there. I seen
yeah,
everything over there.
that's awesome. Um, I'm gonna get into some of these. Well, I'm curious too. Like, you were born here and grew up here and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was born here. I was born here. I got shot at Humboldt School when I was 17. I was going to Lincoln at the time. Then I graduated when I was 18.
that's when your birthday, the shooting that thing, or
17, Little
little
Smurf's
Smurf's
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
March the 8th.
Yeah, and of course, because you were saying, yeah, your parents were in Vanport and all that, and
My parents went to Jefferson High School. My grandfather lived in Vanport. But
grandfather. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
so we've pretty much been over in that neighborhood, the Albina district, since my grandfather came from getting flooded out of
Yeah.
Vanport.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll give a shout out too if like for younger people, if you don't know what happened there, the documentary does a pretty good job of showing what happened there, and
Yeah,
but it's history in the Northwest.
they get a
And
glimpse. That's why the Killingsworth will show you some document. It will show you some history as well.
yeah,
You know,
there's a lot in there. Yeah.
there's a lot in there. Tom did a great job as far as getting the historian and showing the outline, the red line district, and those things
Yeah.
of how we went from Vanport to the Albina district.
Yeah. Yeah. The way they showed it too. I actually didn't know some of that too about how I didn't know about Memorial Coliseum and how that displaced people and like this
Right.
hospital that didn't get or
That
this
didn't get
medical
built.
thing that
Hill
did.
Burton funding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just constant moving and it's crazy. But yeah. Let me get into. I can get into some of these goofy questions, I guess. Is there anything else you want to talk about before I get into these like
Um,
wacky stuff?
so this year we did the 11th annual Flavin Peace Awards, a summer jam,
Yeah. Tell me about that. Yeah.
where we gave away some awards to pretty much some community activists, people who we have seen out in the community, really putting their hands in the dirt, getting their hands dirty. A lot of times people get the clean award. Clean award means you got all the stats, you got all the money.
Hmm.
Don't mean that you're actually really out there doing all the work. A lot of times the people that do the work go unseen, like a janitor in the building.
Yeah.
Um, so going home to Pastor Richardson is one of the people we gave an award to from that program over there. We gave a guy named Larry Bell from Good Shepherd's Children Foundation. He works with the youth as well. Gave him an award. And the White Manyweather was another one off the top of my mind I can think of, who has the homeless shelter, Straightways Ministry, or Straightways Services is the name of his company. And he got an award as well for his job with helping the homelessness. And so we also gave away some music awards. Cool Nuts was one of the people that received one.
Yeah.
Versatile received one.
How long is that the first year you did the awards or?
It's 11th year.
Okay, you've been doing it a long time.
11th
Yeah.
year. And my thing is that it's cool to receive an award,
Yeah.
but I feel better giving an award. So I'm giving way more awards than I could have ever received. And just to see these other people
Yeah.
smiles on their faces for the work that they put in. There was one group called 456, some young men. All three of them had passed away. We made sure they got an award for the work that they did in trying to bring together some gang violence, stop gang violence. Yeah, one that was from 60s Kirby and from Woodlawn Park. One died natural cause, two of them ended up getting shot and killed. But they were trying to bring something together to stop the violence.
Yeah.
And I had to give an award to them just so that their parents knew that they were doing the right things and what they was trying to get accomplished.
Is there where can people check? Is there like a website for that where people can check all those out?
You can go on Facebook. There is a Flavin Peace Awards,
Okay.
and you can hit on that
It's
link
all in there.
and tell some stuff. But there'll be some more information.
That's cool. When do you normally do them?
We did that every August.
Okay. So that
Every
just
August we do
a couple
that.
months ago, yeah.
Yeah, every August we do the Flavin Peace Awards at Summer Jam, and then in November we run a show called the Future Legend Show.
Okay.
So those are the 2 times a year that we throw events,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
both of them are basically to showcase music artists, as well as to give out awards to people who have been in the community, actually helping be activists and to make our community a better place.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I've seen somebody you have like huge like plaques and stuff or like
Yeah,
trophies and that kind
yeah,
of shit.
good,
Yeah.
good, nice plaques for them.
That's awesome.
Something that when you go in there, you can see it hanging on the wall, and they can show that they've been putting their work in.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's really cool. Um, okay, let me start getting into some of these. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts also about? I've been asking people about the WNBA coming here and the MLB possibly.
Well, I love the MLB first of all,
Yeah.
so I would definitely like for us to have a team.
You like really into it?
I'm into it.
Okay.
I'm watch
Because
I,
yeah, you said you used to be on the baseball
I watch
team.
baseball every
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
and then I played baseball all the way in high school. I lettered in baseball. Um, WNBA, the ladies have came a long way.
Yeah.
They
I know
act
their viewership's like
they
at a
actually
high point right
they
now.
got them actually looking like Barbie dolls now.
Yeah.
They've came up with their dress look.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting advertisement,
Mhm.
and I believe that they should be able to get every advertisement you see a man in. If a man got on Fruit of Looms, she should be able to have some Fruit of Looms and get paid too,
Yeah.
because the entertainment doesn't change across the board.
Hmm.
If people like what you're doing, you deserve to get paid for it.
Yeah, and it is like I do think that Portland's like the perfect. I can see why they're doing it here. I know people love the Thorns, which I'm like soccer's like the most boring thing to me, but I understand
Right,
why people are into
right.
it. So I do think it's a good city for it and that kind of thing. I was gonna. Are you an NFL fan? Do you like NFL?
I'm an NFL fan.
You just like Seahawks, 49ers, like you were
Well,
saying?
I'm Kansas City Chiefs is my number
Okay,
one
yeah.
team. Uh,
They're kind of
but
unstoppable.
I battle between Kansas City and San Francisco
Okay.
because I consider San Francisco to be one of my three or four homes that
Yeah, it's
I
like your home team. Yeah.
yeah yeah
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Yeah.
so but Kansas City and the 49ers those are my two favorite teams.
Okay. You think Casey's gonna get another
I
championship?
think KC can get another championship.
Okay. They're
Mahomes is
so good, yeah.
Mahomes is a bad man.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, every year I watch him and I'm just like, he can't be this good every year, but he just keeps doing it.
All
Like,
right, all
yeah.
right. Now if you're betting on the spread, never take them on the spread because they do just enough to win.
Yeah, yeah.
They never cover the point spread.
But
If
they'll
you're a
win the
gambling
game.
man, but they'll win the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me get into some of these. Um, I always ask people, like, you parked out here, if you're parking in like a shopping center or something, do you pull in or do you back in?
I pull in.
Okay. I think most people do.
Yeah, I pull in.
Okay. Do you have what am I saying? I'm doing these by memory, so I'm trying to remember. Um, do you like crunchy or smooth peanut butter? Maybe you don't like peanut butter.
I like peanut butter. I had a lot of peanut butter, and I like peanut butter smoothies.
Okay.
Jamba Juice.
Oh yeah, yeah. I wish there was more Jamba Juices. Like
I
I don't know. I feel
got
like
Jamba,
whenever I want one, they're not
I
close to
got
me.
Jamba Juice in the car right now.
Do you really?
Peanut butter.
That is like probably their best. I feel like that's probably their best one. Um, do you have a favorite type of French fry? Do you like crinkle cut, regular cut,
Listen, I didn't want
curly?
to eat it today, but I got Arby's and I got curly fries.
That's one of the yeah. I feel like curly fries is either Arby's or Jack in the Box.
But
One
I
of the two.
prefer if anywhere I'd rather go to Burgerville.
Yeah, for the fries or just in general.
Just everything.
Yeah, they are good. Their burgers are good. Supposedly, it's all like local beef and
Yeah,
stuff. And yeah,
I like the Burgerville.
yeah,
Over the In and Out, I'll take Burgerville.
yeah. I think they are getting. I want to say, is there one up here?
There
There's
is
one in
one. Salem.
Salem. Yeah,
Salem,
I think
yeah.
they're trying to get one in Vancouver or something like that. But that's a hot topic though. Some people hate it. I'm just like, for the price, it's pretty good
Right.
for what it is. I guess
Yeah.
And,
For what it is, but Burgerville's killing them.
yeah. Um, do you have a favorite Taco Bell item? This
Taco
is a
Bell.
new question I've been asking.
Taco Bell. What did I just see? You know, I went to Taco Bell 2 times this week,
Okay.
and I wanted to get the Fury, Sprite, and lemonade, and they were
It's
out.
called Fury. That sounds great.
And they
Yeah.
were out. So now I don't have a favorite thing. No.
How did they run out of that? That's
Exactly.
bullshit.
Oh, exactly.
What about do you like what's that stuff called? The Baja Blast?
Baja
You
Blast.
like
I
that
like
shit?
Baja Blast.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite,
Yeah.
but I like it.
It's kind of their thing, I guess. Do you have a favorite fair ride or like Disneyland ride or something like that?
Anything to do with the Smurfs.
Okay, yeah. With the yeah.
Anything to do with the Smurfs.
I'm no wonder now. Like, is there a Smurfs thing? There has to be something.
There got to be something.
Yeah,
If nothing else, just walk to the village. I like being in the village with my people.
yeah. This is probably the weirdest one I've been asking, and I'm sorry if this sounds like a weird question. I've been asking people their nut rankings of like.
Uh,
So mine's like pistachio, peanut, cashew. Those are my top three. Maybe you
uh,
don't like them though. I don't
no,
know.
mine would be pistachio,
It's the best, right?
peanut,
Yeah.
cashew.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be my three.
Okay.
I don't really care for walnuts.
Yeah. Nobody. That's what I don't know. Kind of started a lot of this is like I call it walnuts are weird. It looks like a brain. It doesn't taste like anything. You gotta
Right.
like crack it open and all that shit. Um, but yeah, it's kind of weird. If you were forced to run a gigantic company or brand, is there one you'd want to run?
The company I would want to run, first of all, be my company, Two Real Records.
Yeah.
The Roseville
I mean, yeah,
Moneybag
you
Boys.
already do run. Yeah.
Um, Smurf Luchiano, the real DB Cooper. Them would be the top three that I would want to run. Then of course Nike or Adidas would be second,
Yeah.
and third in place.
Nike first.
Nike first.
Okay.
I worked for Nike before,
Did you really?
and I had a good time, and it was a
Okay.
great experience, and I was around good people. Um, so Nike first, then Adidas. Um, I like Nike shoes better than I like Adidas.
Just overall.
I like Adidas clothes, but I like Nike
Okay.
shoes.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of used to be the opposite, but I'm also biased because I did a decent amount of video work for Adidas here, and
right.
then I started wearing Adidas more. But I like them all. I don't know.
See,
Even
I got a foot problem, so my foot is partially paralyzed on one foot.
oh really?
So the air soles always feel better on my feet after standing.
Okay. That's what I was gonna ask, comfort wise. Yeah.
And if I gotta go casual, I'll take Kohans.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I used to be a lot worse about buying sneakers, but I love buying sneakers. I've been better about it recently, but
Right.
it's a hard thing to stop.
I am working on Killingsworth 2. Um,
You are?
Killingsworth 2.
Okay.
It's the Big Smurf story.
I was gonna say earlier, yeah, Tom or somebody should do that.
Yeah. So, and the name of my film company is Pirate's Eye Media.
Okay.
I do that with my 22-year-old son. His name is Prince Norman. He goes to school at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Is he shooting the video and all that stuff? Or?
So he's shooting video. He's kind of into it. He's not all the way into it, but we're getting it done.
That's
And
awesome.
so Tizzo at Black Lagoon will also be helping on that project. And if we get any more people that decide that they might want to help out, we are open to some people that want to be a part of it,
Yeah, I
storyboarding
think it's a
as
great
well as
idea.
shooting.
Yeah. And that's documentary or that's gonna be
That's a documentary.
okay?
So
Yeah,
I want to shoot the documentary, either turn into a series, or after the documentary turn into a series. So
I think
either
that's a
that or a
great
film.
yeah, I think that's a great idea. And yeah, if you guys want to come back and talk about it on here, you're always welcome to
Oh, I appreciate
promote
it.
it. Yeah, and I can do what I can to help. I don't know what I could
Hey,
do, but
we already started.
I'm
We doing.
available.
We here
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Yeah, keep an eye out for that.
I went to Mount Hood Community College for a while to
Did you?
shoot, so I did that for a year and a half in their videography program.
What do you think about? I know this is kind of a weird tangent here, but I always ask people about because I didn't go to college. I saw my siblings go, and like they have a bunch of debt. What do you think? What do you think about college today? And like you said,
Well,
your son's going.
well,
Yeah,
he's at UNLV. I'm trying to get him to come back to Oregon, which I thought I would never do. Um, just so he can come to go to Portland State, come
okay,
back here, be a resident,
yeah,
get some of this Oregon, a little bit more Oregon under his belt because he's pretty much raised in Nevada,
mm-hmm.
and Oregon got a good spin on it. If you can take that Nevada hustle, and you can come back and get um, the demeanor of an Oregonian with the Nevada hustle,
I can see that. Yeah,
you can make it a long way
yeah.
anywhere in any business.
Because I've only I've worked in Vegas. I've never actually been there, even for like the casinos and all that shit. But do people just hustle there? I'd imagine.
It's almost like a to me it's almost like a turnover town. Every 4 years it turns over. It's like a college town.
That makes sense. Yeah,
And next year,
it's kind of like the
you go 4 years, it won't even look the same.
yeah, it's kind of like the what do you call it? The like entertainers that do like 4 years
The
and then
residencies.
resident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you're going 4 years, it won't even look the same. casinos get knocked down.
Yeah,
They
they'll
have a
blow them up.
mountain up or whatever, a tree up.
Yeah.
Then you come back and to be a naked lady.
Yeah. Like the last time I was there, they were building the Raiders
Stadium.
stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the stadium was nice over there
And
too.
now they got the, what do you call it, the sphere and all that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got the Sphere. So I've been on the Sphere. I've been in the Raider Stadium. Now they're finna knock down Circus Circus.
Really? Are they?
They put up what is it? Circus Blue, something blue.
That's gonna be in its place there.
Well, they got no. The blue is I forgot the name of it, but something blue. But it's there where they used to have the ladies with the royal, what's it called, Riviera, where the
Mm,
Riviera used to
mm.
be with the ladies with the butts out.
Yeah.
So they knocked that building down. They put the something blue there. Forgot
Okay.
the name of it,
Okay.
but it's beautiful inside of there too. It's right across the street from Circus Circus.
Okay.
Now they're about to knock down Circus Circus. So that's
So
what I'm
it's
saying.
all, yeah,
Down
it's
that
just
strip,
constantly, yeah.
they constantly changing, and
Yeah.
they're spreading it out. When
Yeah,
I
it just
when I
keeps
first got to Vegas, um, they didn't have South Point, which is
mm,
at the very end of the strip now. Um, they had communities, but they didn't have communities all the way out to the mountain.
yeah.
Now it's all the way out to the mountain. There almost is no more room to build anything else in Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
That is crazy, yeah. Yeah, it is interesting just to think about the difference between like I had a guest on here a couple weeks ago who's saying like in the 90s one of the old mayors of Portland was like we can't make Portland become like Vegas, which is just funny to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't they're so different that
So you got Snortland, Oregon. You got Portland, Oregon. Um, Portland has so many nicknames.
I've never heard Snorland. That's
Yeah,
funny
yeah. Well,
actually.
they
Yeah.
say they do a lot of cocaine in
Yeah.
Portland.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
say
And
they
I'll
say
I'll,
they
I'll be totally honest and say this is the first place I did cocaine.
right,
Yeah.
right. I mean,
Yeah, I mean this was like, I don't know, 15 years ago, but yeah.
yeah, and I mean, and then they got strip clubs.
Yeah.
So then you got 82nd.
Mhm.
I mean, people are then they
I guess
doing
yeah, that is
then they're
similar.
doing open drugs and they anywhere they want to
Yeah.
smoke with a. You see people with aluminum foils everywhere,
Yeah.
bent over everywhere. So
I mean maybe you don't know this now, I guess, but is fentanyl also huge in Vegas? Is it?
no,
Okay.
no, and I go around places. I travel, I go to different neighborhoods, and I hardly ever see it.
Yeah.
No, nothing
It does
like
seem
that in
like I guess
Portland.
it wouldn't make sense as a drug in Vegas because like you're just gonna pass out
You're
and
just gonna pass
I
out. I mean,
guess like
it doesn't make
it's more of
sense to
an
me anywhere,
yeah. Totally, yeah.
but here it's just. And then I've also been working with a program called Mad AF, Mad as fuck,
Okay.
basically.
I remember hearing you do a
Mom and
video about
Dad's
that.
against
Yeah.
fentanyl.
That's great. Yeah.
Mom and Dad's against fentanyl. They were one of the sponsors for our Flavor and Peace Awards at Summer Jam as well.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, and my condolences to anybody who has lost anyone to fentanyl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just one of those things that's out there that we have to try to make sure that if we can, if nothing else, make sure people have literature on it and they know how to get help. And if they see someone in danger in a crisis, how they could possibly help them,
Yeah.
the Narcan or whatever.
Yeah, the Narcan is just crazy. Like I've talked to a lot of people on here who, or even candidates who've like used. They're like, yeah, I used Narcan somebody the other day, and
Right.
it's
See,
just crazy.
that's like that's not happening like that. Like in Nevada, you don't see it like that.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in Oregon, every day I'm thinking I might have to save somebody's life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so you want to be prepared just in case you run into that, because what a tragedy it would be for anyone to see anybody die or overdose. I mean, that's not what you get up looking for in the daytime when you go out to go to work. You know, but it may possibly happen,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're around here in Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I don't know, they stock it like everywhere now.
All right,
Yeah.
and but then I seen some stuff where you had to buy it. It costs
It is kind of
and it's
expensive.
expensive to
Yeah.
buy it.
Yeah.
Like, damn, they should be giving it away in healthcare to make
Yeah.
sure that we can save our people.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that's a fight. Where as taxpayers, do we do that to keep spending money when that's something that they want to do? Should you save them if they want to?
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's one of the most interesting things I heard about. I'm trying to remember who brought it up to me, but yeah, it was like it's basically like if you're like a libertarian type person and you just want people to do whatever they want, then is Narcan like a part of that? Because you're
All right,
really bringing them back from something they don't want to be brought back from.
all
And
right.
but yeah, it's just such a weird. That whole concept's so weird to me because you like ping pong people
It's a
back to
ping pong. All right.
life, and it's just I don't know. I'm glad that I don't
And
I
those.
don't do hard drugs anymore,
All
and I'm
right.
glad about that because it's just so risky. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kids are. I feel like kids are like steering clear of everything now.
They should.
Hopefully, I
At,
guess
at
not.
this
Yeah.
stage, they should like. I've had some of my kids say, "Oh, Dad, I tried this," and I'm like, "Well, nowadays you try it one time, that could be it." I know
Yeah.
I stopped, but they still drink.
Yeah. I
See,
guess
that's what
that's
I
like
had
a
to worry about my kids
safer.
drinking.
That's like a
Like
safer way. Yeah.
a couple of my kids have went to jail for DUI before. Nothing
Okay.
anything worse than DUI. Nothing worse than DUI. But a DUI can be terrible
Yeah.
if you get in an accident.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that they learn from their experience with drinking, the hangovers and those type of things, and they haven't gotten any car accidents. But they learn that ain't what I want to do is be drunk and accidentally kill somebody.
Yeah.
Because what a bad feeling that got to be to live with, knowing that you were not in control and took
Yeah.
somebody else's life.
Yeah. Horrible feeling. Yeah. I was curious too. What do you think about like one of the things that I always kind of ask people? I've asked therapists about this on the show, but I'm just fascinated with like Adderall and how that.
Hmm.
Because isn't that? I don't know. I've never been like an upper person, but I just see all these kids doing it now, and and a lot of times I feel like kids get prescribed it unnecessarily. But
Right.
I just see people on Adderall, and I can totally tell. I'm like, you're just like
Yeah.
speed, like
Yeah. I seen a lady earlier, and I could tell she was on Adderall. She had her kid in the back seat,
they can't stop
and
talking, and
she
it's
couldn't stop talking. She couldn't
yeah,
stop moving. And then when she got in the car, she actually backed up, almost hit a car, and then she darted off into traffic.
yeah,
And I'm
exactly.
like, whoa.
That's what I see, and I'm like, is this helping you? Like, I don't.
Right. Right. And so
But I was just yeah curious on your take on it, just coming from yeah like the crack
that's one
days
of
and
the
all that.
that's one of the tough ones because those are supposed to be the people who have high tolerance or up, and the
Yeah,
Adderall doesn't seem like it's bringing them down to me.
yeah. That's what I do. Yeah, I
They
don't
say
get.
it mellows
Yeah,
them out, but I haven't seen that part.
exactly. Yeah, like I've known a couple people who say that. Like it makes me yeah more mellow and better, and I can focus. And I'm just like, what are you talking
All
about?
right. And then I
Like you
seen
said, these woman almost like backed into
then I
somebody.
seen
And
normal people who said they needed Adderall so they could stay up. I mean, and those were people that were in college that were taking quizzes.
yeah, and
So
that's what I hear about. Yeah, when I said kids, like kids are just like I use it to study and all this
right.
stuff, and it's like man. I don't know. I guess when I was young, if that was around, maybe I would have done it. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
no
wouldn't have done
idea.
it.
Yeah.
See, I never doing like a pill popper or none of that stuff.
Yeah, me neither. No.
Um, I'm not like you. I'm not a downer person.
Yeah.
Smoke some weed, that's fine enough. That's good enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I've
Yeah.
done a few other things, but I'm just saying, majority smoke a little weed,
Yeah.
especially at my age. I'm almost at the age where I'm gonna need a caregiver.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell. You look like I don't know. You got some nice drip going on. You
Thank
look
you, man. I
like yeah.
appreciate
You
it.
look like you're I don't know 25 or
Hmm.
something. Yeah. I'll just plug your stuff. I guess one more time. Like where Apple Music, all that. That's the best place to
Apple
find it.
Music.
Yeah.
I
Keep an
got.
eye.
I've actually put out 11 albums, 11
That's
projects.
awesome. Yeah.
Got them. Gangsters on the Move. Mussolini. I put out like 4 Mussolini albums. Mussolini went gospel. He had a tragedy. He went to jail for a little while. His lost his girlfriend. He came back doing gospel music. He's still putting out gospel music as
That sounds
Mussolini the
interesting.
Messenger.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll check that out.
yeah,
Yeah.
check that out. I got like four compilations that I put out. I got Mac Dre on some albums. I got Messy Marv on some albums. I got E40 on some albums. I got
Wow.
Be
Wow.
Legit on some. I got X Rated. I got Brother Lynch. I got Sibo. You pretty much name it off the West Coast. I got them on one of these albums that I've produced out of the great Northwest, out of Portland, Oregon, out the City of Roses. Two Real Records, Smurf Luchiano, The Real DB Cooper. It's my next project that I'm releasing. Just if you get a chance, just support, download, click the link, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Smurf Luchiano,
Yeah.
and check out my 2 new videos, I Bought a Risk and Nina Ross.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and I was gonna say, yeah, keep an eye out for the album November for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks so much for coming today, man. I
And
appreciate
I
it.
also got Rose City Reps. Check it out. My guy, Real Key. Shout out to you too. I appreciate you, man, for having me on the show
Yeah, for
and
sure.
letting me be part of the Northwest Fresh.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're always welcome back.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I
Have
appreciate
you
it.
come back for the album or something. Yeah.
I sure will.
Yeah.